Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Whitfield Analysis. I'm Sam Whitfield, broadcasting live from Next Gen Conservative Studios on Junior Factor Nation Radio and Next Gen Conservative Radio via Spreaker. I'm so glad you could join me tonight, folks. We've got another great show uh, here for you tonight. I was going to have the phone line open tonight, but folks, I've been having trouble configuring the phone line recently, and so until we get it figured out, I apologize, but I'm not going to be able to take calls. Um, but the email address, if you want to email me, is sam@calgrenation.com. Um, you can also tweet me on Twitter at samw_ngc. And I'm in the middle, folks. I've been really busy right now. I'm about ready to move to Florida to go to college. I'm moving mid August, so I'll tell you more about that when I get closer to moving. But anyway, life has been really hectic. But I've also been configuring a new website um, for you guys to contact me at, and it should be up here probably Wednesday of this week is what I'm planning on. It'll be my official website, but it'll link to Junior Factor Nation, to Calgary Nation, which is where my columns are at, my Turning Point USA columns, my podcasts, old and new, all that stuff. So I've got a new, and you'll be able to contact me there too once that's complete. So again, if you want to contact me, um, email me sam@calgrenation.com and tweet me on Twitter at samw_ngc. All right, folks. So tonight I want to focus on something a little different than we've been talking about here. You know, lately, uh, first I talked a lot about the IRS scandal when it broke, and then I talked a lot about the Trayvon Martin verdict when it was finally released. In fact, I kind of feel more or less like um, that's all people have been talking about lately. And it's getting really annoying. And last night was the last night that I talked about it really, and I talked more actually about how um, because of um, the way the liberal media has spun the Trayvon Martin story, how they're using that to cause racial division. Now I said that last night on my show, and I played a whole bunch of clips of Al Gore's show. I mean, of Al Gore, and then I played some parodies last night of Paul Shanklin's The Justice Brothers, and I will link that up to it too. Um, so, I am very interested in, uh, or no, what was I gonna say? So last night I covered, Al Sharpton and all that, And that's what we covered last night. Now, today I want to talk a little bit. I want to talk about something a little different, and I want to preface this tonight's episode by telling you a little story. So, folks, as most of you know, as most of this audience knows, I'm on Facebook, and most of the fans, most of the regular listeners to this program are my friends on Facebook. Now, usually I don't post political stuff to my personal Facebook page. And the reason why is because, well, I have lots and lots of conservative friends. I also have lots of progressive and more liberal friends on Facebook too. And so, mixing in my political show with my personal profile, it just gets to be too much of a hassle sometimes, and so that's why I usually keep my political posts on Junior Factor Nation and, on my Sam Whitfield the Analyzer show pages. I just don't want to deal with, my liberal relatives or my liberal friends criticizing every little thing I say on my personal page. So that's why I have the professional page, because they don't have to, comment if they don't want to. And whatnot. So, but the other day I found a clip, and in fact, let me try and play that. Let me try and find that for you real quick. Yesterday I played a clip of Chris Matthews talking about how how he's basically apologizing for white men here in America. Let me see if I can here it is. Okay, let me play this clip for you. I played this yesterday, and this is Chris Matthews apologizing for white people here in America. Let's take a listen. Okay, so I found that on Wednesday. I found that on Wednesday. And that clip angered me so much because it's very racist towards white people. It's basically saying that as a whole, whites are still inherently racist here in America. And I flipped out, and I posted that to my personal profile on purpose. And I knew this was going to happen because every time I post something political to my personal Facebook page, a liberal relative of mine or a more progressive relative of mine always seems to respond. And so this family member, I'm going to keep them anonymous. And I'm going to keep them anonymous because this is a person that I care about deeply and who I have respect for. But this person criticized me and said that, well, first of all, I should back up. So I posted that clip on my profile wall, and I said that Chris Matthews is a senile old bat, and and he needs to retire, and that old chump, that old washed out chump has no right to speak for me. Well, this person, they got offended that I called Chris Matthews a old chump that needed to retire, and this person commented that they found this deeply offensive, and they said that they found a lot of my comments on Facebook politically, that they found a lot of my political comments offensive on Facebook, and that while they don't mind me having a conservative opinion, they think I need to tone down my political opinions. And their whole there's a lot more that they said that was personal, but I'm not going to into it. They basically said that I need to that I need to tone down the snarkiness and the sarcasm and my radical conservative posts and my radical conservative views. They said that I needed to tone it down and water it down a little bit because it might offend people. I mean, that's basically what they were saying. And to this person, whether or not they're listening, first of all, I have to say I'm sorry I'm sorry that you were offended. But at the same time, that was your decision to read the post, and I'm not going to apologize for my political views or how I say my political views, folks, and there's a very simple reason. This is what I want to talk to you about tonight. Folks, the radical left has declared war on the conservative movement. They've declared war on us since before I was born. And they have said offensive stuff themselves. Far more offensive than what some progressive might have thought I said about Chris Matthews. I mean, they have called black conservatives sellouts. They've called Bill Maher called Sarah Palin, a conservative woman, the C word. He called her mentally handicapped son retarded. And I could go on and on about how conservatives have been bullied by liberals. But long story short, to this member of my family who thinks that I need to apologize for being a conservative, I'm not going to apologize at all. I'm not going to apologize, folks. There's absolutely no reason for me. I don't care, and I'm speaking to all the liberals out there. I'm speaking to all the quote-unquote moderates, and I'm speaking to the liberals and moderates in my family. I don't really give a crap if you're offended by the way I say things. Because you look at the liberal media, generally, what they say, and when you really study them, this whole political correctness thing is really getting old. Chris Matthews was apologizing on behalf of me for being white. And as I said last night, at the end of my show. I do not need someone to apologize for me for being white. Folks, that would be like me asking for Michael Jordan or some other black celebrity to apologize for all black people just because some black people might be gangbangers. That would be like me apologizing for the black community because some of the African Americans are gangbangers. That would be considered extremely racist, and if I were a black guy, and if I were black and I did that, I would be ridiculed. And so when I said that Chris Matthews is a senile old bat, I meant every word I said, and I still do, folks. So to this member of my family, I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to deal with it. Again, I don't really care that you're offended. I love you and I respect you. But you're not going to make me water down my political opinion. I'm sorry, you're just not going to. And the reason, and folks, before you get all offended, I want to explain to you why I choose to be aggressive towards the left. Why I choose to be aggressive. I mean, I have no problem saying that I can piss off the left pretty regularly. I have absolutely no problem with that. So tonight, folks, I'm going to explain why. But first, let me take a commercial break, and then I'll be right back. Hold on. We'll be right back. This is the Whitfield analysis, and again, I'm going to take a quick time out. And real quick, I'm looking for an audio soundbite. I'm gonna play some of the Justice Brothers parodies on my way out before commercial break. This is again Paul Shanklin's excellent parodies. I do not own these; these are his property, but I'm using them under the Fair Use Act, and I'm going to play all of these before I cut to commercial break. So anyway, folks, we'll be right back on the Whitfield analysis, and stay tuned. We'll be right back as soon as I can find the commercial reel, that is. Okay, Okay, I've got everything set up now. So, folks, we'll be right back. Wow, what just happened? And stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And now my computer is. Sorry about this gaffe, folks. I have a Mac and my screen, for some reason, just zoomed in. Which is which was not my intention at all. Okay, we've got that fixed up, so I'll be right back after these messages, and you're listening to Next Gen Conservative Radio. We'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned. Yes, folks, I have been called the Andrew Breitbart of my generation by several people now, including Caden, and there's a reason for that. And that's what I'm going to explain here tonight. Folks, welcome back to the program. So, ladies and gentlemen, as most of you know, I'm a very tough talker when it comes to the left. I criticize them vehemently, and I can be a bit harsh towards the left sometimes, and I have no problem admitting that. But folks, the left has been bullying us for decades. The radical left has. And they've used ridicule, and they've used vulgarness, and they've used media manipulation to try and destroy us. And so we have used more recently, like in the last 3 years, we've used ridicule, sarcasm, and political incorrectness to combat them, and they're having a hissy fit about it. But I don't care. Now, as far back as I go, I have to explain a little personal history, folks. Folks, when I began my broadcasting slash podcasting career back in 2008, I was 14 years old. And when I was 14 and I started out my original podcast, The Whitfield Nation, I was one of these podcasters. I was one of these young conservatives who, at the time, my main goal was, my thought was, I'm not going to be that hard on the left. I'm going to try to be reasonable with them, and because not all of them can be that nasty. And so, I'm gonna try to talk with them and be nice to them, and I'm gonna try to win them over to our side, and I'm not going to be so fiery. And at the time, that's what I thought would be good. So I did that for my first year, which was from 2008 to 2009. And I have to tell you, even in the early days, I've started to really realize that that was a mistake, because the left continued to criticize me and ridicule me and be mean to me. But I tried it again for the second year. But the left kept proving to me that they're giant assholes as a collective. They really did keep proving that. And so I continued to get disgruntled, but I continued to get, I continued to be somewhat respectful. Well, then, by my third year, I was done with it. I was done with it. They had attempted to, collectively piss on my opinions, and they had continued to, be cruel to me. and unwilling to change their belligerence, and they continue to be stubborn pricks. So I really started to be fed up with them. And then the final straw that broke the camel's back was so I started becoming more aggressive, more and more aggressive. And then the final straw that broke the camel's back was when Andrew Breitbart died. And my God, folks, the left, when Andrew Breitbart died, Andrew Breitbart's death was the final straw for me. Breitbart's death was the final straw for me because the left was celebrating, and I really stress the word, they celebrated the fact that Andrew Breitbart was dead. They were saying things like, I'm glad Andrew's dead, I hope he rots in hell, or I'm glad Breitbart's dead, I wish more conservatives would burn in hell like he did. And they were really, really cruel and nasty to Breitbart, and the amount of cruel things that they said, and worse, that no one else was stopping them from saying it, it was just unbelievable. And so I was very pissed off on that day. But then it just continued to fester. So then when I got home, I checked the Breitbart websites, and all of the websites were suspended, and they had a memoriam post for Andrew. And below the memoriam, they had a link to this young lady's video, and I will never forget this. The young woman who posted a video, her name is Felicia Graham, and I don't know where she's from, but she's about my age. I think she's a year older than me, so she's Jason's age. And she posted a video criticizing the liberals who were attacking Andrew. And in the video, she also talks about how much Andrew meant to her, and how he inspired her to become politically active, and it was her tribute to Andrew. It was very touching. Well, down below in the comments section, I read some of the most disgusting things that I had ever heard. There were multiple liberals criticizing her, being nasty towards her, and it really pains me, and it makes me want to vomit when I'm about ready to say this. But these liberals, ladies and gentlemen, they went so far as to use the C expletive. That's right, you heard me. They used the C expletive. Not only that, they called her the C word. But then some of them were making rape threats. they were threatening to rape an 18-year-old, a 17-year-old and a half, 18-year-old girl because of her political views. And this wasn't just one guy. This was 10 guys who were liberal. They hated Andrew that much, and they hated conservatives that much that they were threatening to rape her and murder her. So I reported them, and then I just became unglued. So I declared war on the left officially. And folks, what I'm about to play for you is the very first YouTube video I published, and this is me declaring war on the liberal left. And folks, and to my family who might not understand my radicalized views on some things, this is my war cry to the left, and this is what I had to say to them then, and I stand even firmer by it. So this is when I officially declared war on the left. Let's take a listen, and then I'll follow up with my audio comments. Alright folks, so that was my very first YouTube video. Published last year at the beginning of 2012 when I was still with Next Gen Conservative and when I was still broadcasting on Blog Talk Radio. And folks, I still stand by that statement. We are going to expose the left peacefully and non-violently, but we're still going to expose them. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to expose them, kindly either. When the libs are acting up, I'm going to ridicule them. I'm going to hold them to the same, ridiculing standards that how they ridicule us. And I just want to read to you some of the comments from some of the liberals that some of the lefts have said, and there are some just really I'm gonna have to bleep a few of these out. But one of the leftists said the guy in the video is mentally challenged, as are most conservatives. Breitbart rots in hell. Okay. Scrolling down. Another dumb liberal said, oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. One of the trolls said, "You sound like you have you sound like you have a broken nose. Your vid sucks." Yeah. Let's see. Another liberal. This one actually has to go in the top 10 of criticisms against me, folks. I forgot about this comment. But one of the liberals on this YouTube video said, "I know what happens. A young moderate or liberal gets really high, or takes 8 hits of LSD like this dude. Then you become brain damaged and conservative." I mean, why else would a middle-class American want to support an ideology that hurts them? Classic liberal BS, folks. Another liberal says, "Practice public speaking, you're an imbecile." Yeah, why don't and then another one says, "You already sound like an indoctrinated, brainwashed young man. Don't waste your life with left-right bullshit. Andrew Breitbart was a sick, vile man. I feel very sorry for you. Goodbye." Wow. Way to make a strong comment. Anyway, folks, these are just a few of the liberal trolls that commented on my video. There were several conservatives who commented. One of them I absolutely one of them I'm going to read. It got voted in the top comments. One of them says, "Thanks for posting this. What you're doing matters. It's important. Like Andrew would have done, giggle off the negative comments from the left. Misguided poodles nipping at your heels because they know you're right." And folks, that's what I've done. That's what I've done. Anyway, folks, I'm going to take another commercial break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to play Andrew Breitbart's CPAC speech. Stay tuned, we'll be right back, folks. Once I find the commercial bumper. Here it is. Alright, folks, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. You're listening to Next Gen Conservative Radio. We'll be right back after these messages. So I want to play this clip. I want to play Andrew Breitbart's full CPAC speech because after I posted my video, I went back and I watched Andrew Breitbart's full CPAC speech, and this was the final speech he made before he died. It's very good. It runs about 15 minutes, but it really drives home. And folks, if you want an explanation of why I do what I do, I'm going to explain it afterwards. Um, but listen to this clip. This is a great refresher for those of you who really want to know uh, what we stand for here at Junior Factor Nation. Let's take a listen. Alright, folks, so that was Andrew Breitbart's speech. Fabulous, fabulous speech. That was the last speech he gave at CPAC 2012. Great, great speech by a great man, and he will be missed. And I have had the honor and the privilege to interview Ben Shapiro from Breitbart, one of the best interviews I've ever done. I feel so blessed to have been able to interview him. Folks, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I will be back to give my analysis. And really to sum up why I do what I do. So stay tuned, we'll be right back with more analysis, and stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back. Alright, folks, welcome back to the program. So, folks, in the final couple minutes of the program, I really want to outline for you once and for all why I am so aggressive towards the left, why I do what I do, and why I make no apologies for it. But folks, I just played 2 clips for you. The first clip I played outlined the first time. I declared war on the left. And the second is Andrew's theory about the left, which is absolutely true. The left is merciless, folks. As a collective, the left is merciless. And folks, when I started my career as a podcaster / internet broadcaster back in 2008, I thought that for the most part, liberals were kind, with the exception of a few bad apples that got lots of publicity. Now, since then, I have completely changed my mind about that, because I realized that the vast majority of liberals out there are a-holes, and they're cruel, and they're mean, and they make stupid arguments that need to be crushed. I have come 180 degrees from being nice to liberals. Now, I will say this. There is 2% of liberals who do honestly treat me with respect, who are, who respectful, who, although they disagree with absolutely everything I say, they still respect my opinion. They don't ridicule me. They don't call me stupid. They don't call me an asshat. They don't constantly make snarky remarks about everything that we say or do. They don't try and censor me by saying that they get offended or that I need to be more politically correct. But folks, that's only about 2% of the liberal population that I've encountered. 98.9% of the liberal population, though, and this is media figures and this is everyday liberals combined, the vast majority of them are snarky, abusive, foul-mouthed scumbags who it's either their opinion or you shut up. It's either their opinion or you shut up. They're right, you're always wrong, and if you're a conservative, you're a Nazi, you're a homophobe, you're a racist bastard, or if you're a conservative female, you're a racist, homophobic bitch, or the C word, as many liberals like to call, female conservatives, and they're nasty. And folks, I'm not putting it up with it anymore. Like I said, when I was 14, I could tolerate this. I could tolerate it. I could understand. I tried the tactic of being quote unquote respectful and quote unquote nice to them. I tried that tactic. You want to know what happened? I got laughed at. I still got ridiculed. I got called a wimp. I continued to play the nice card until one day they just pushed the envelope too far. And it's progressively worn down, and I will continue to be aggressive towards you liberals. this is a warning. Any liberal who decides to come on my show or write me an email, being aggressive, being snarky, being boastful, or saying pathetic and pitiful stuff like, on behalf of all white people, I would like to apologize for the racism here in America. Like Chris Matthews said, or any of the liberals out there who have said, I think JFN is authoritarian, and they truly don't respect personal freedom. And because I think personal freedom is smoking drugs and doing whatever the hell you want to do without any personal responsibility whatsoever. That's what personal freedom is. Or people who are saying that Caden Cowger is a homophobic Nazi and he should go kill himself. Anyone who even makes a snarky comment like that or makes an outrageous liberal comment, I'm no longer going to respect you. I'm going to confront you on this show. I'm going to gut you and gut your opinion, and I'm going to confront you. I am going to be aggressive. I am not putting up with any bull. And if any of you out there are listening to this, if you're turning into the Whitfield analysis for a gentle conservative, for a conservative who is gentle and forgiving towards liberals, you're turning into the wrong. You're tuning into the wrong program. I am not the guy who is broadcasting to become popular. I am broadcasting because this country is in dire straits. America's value system has been hijacked so much by the left. Political correctness is ruining us as a society, folks. It is ruining us. And we're taking it back. We're taking it back aggressively. My war, you want to know the main reason why I started on this war? It's not so much liberalism in and of itself that I'm battling, but my cause that I am specifically dedicated to. And again, let me play this real quick for you. This is my bumper that Jimmy Z produced for me first, but it speaks truer than ever. Now, folks, I really used to, and again, let me just state this. Many of my fellow conservative youth, Jason and Andrew and Caden, and several others have called me the Andrew Breitbart of my generation. And first of all, I have great respect for Breitbart. He is one of my main influences. But second of all, I just to let you know, folks, I will never be as cool as Andrew Breitbart. I will never be as awesome as he is. Andrew is just so. Andrew Breitbart was just so awesome. And honestly, I don't think anyone will ever be able to replace him. But it's a joke among my fellow conservative youth that I'm the young Andrew Breitbart, and let me tell you why. Andrew fought against the liberal media complex. His main goal was to wage war against the liberal mainstream media, which is completely leftist. And that's my main goal here in America. I mean, I comment on other things too, like, the economy and whatnot, and social issues. But my main focus, the main thing that I have always looked for is media bias to the left and exposing that, and then exposing government cover-ups and corruption. And this administration, the Obama administration, is extremely corrupt. So I am going to continue to be aggressive towards them. And so is Jason, and so is Stephanie, and so is Lyda. By the way, I do want to say a little bit about all of my peers at the end of the program. But before I do that, I do want to say this. I am going to be merciless towards the liberals. I'm going to be absolutely merciless towards the liberals, and for those liberals who harass Caden Cowger, or me, or any other conservative youth, I am going to confront you, and you're going to be ridiculed. Now, on the flip side of things, if you are a liberal who is respectful of my opinions and who will at least agree to a civil debate with me, I will be civil towards you. But I am not going to put up with any of this crap anymore. Here's my line, basically. You harass me, and I am going to come back and hit you equally as hard, because that's the way I roll. And I don't make any apologies for it. Hang on. Yeah, I know that. I am not going to apologize for my beliefs. I simply am not going to. At all. And I don't care what... And I don't care if you agree or disagree with my opinions. I am going to call things as I say them. Now, before I end the show for today, I want to comment on my peers at JFN, because I'm not the only one who is aggressively attacking the left. And I am not the only one who is passionate about this country. I would like to give credit to, first off, let me start off with our fearless leader, Jason Veely. Jason Veely is absolutely fearless. He speaks his mind. He speaks without fear. He is probably one of the smartest young conservative commentators I know of, and he has also become very good friends. He and I have become very good friends. He is one of my best friends, in fact, and he is fearless, and he stands true for what his values are, and he's just a great guy, and I thank him once again for bringing me on to Junior Factor Nation, and I hope we have many more years together, my blood brother. Caden Cowger, pretty much the same thing as Jason Veely. Although, I do have to give Caden credit, because Caden is really the one who first discovered me for Junior Factor Nation. And I have to give Caden credit for, Folks, Caden Cowger is only 15, and yet he is very conservative, but he has also had to deal with multiple unfair accusations from the liberal left of being a Nazi, a homophobe, a bigot, a racist, and he receives multiple death threats every day, and yet he is fearless, and I absolutely love him for it. Caden, you two are a very good friend, and a blood brother. God bless you, and thank you for making me part of the team as well. To my female, now we're heading over to my female colleagues, starting off with Stephanie Conway. Stephanie is very spunky, ladies and gentlemen. She is very spunky, very politically incorrect, but always fun to listen to. She always says what's on her mind. Always in a very spunky attitude. And I always just come away from her show feeling absolutely energized and ready to completely kick ass. Lyda Loudon, now, I do want to spend a couple minutes. Lyda, when she first joined JFN and started talking about culture and the culture war, I really wasn't sure about her at first, and it was because she talked about so many issues in pop culture and not so much on the political issues. I really wasn't sure about her, but I listened to her because I've always found her views very interesting and whatnot. However, it wasn't until her 4th or 5th episode when she explained why she talks about the culture war that I truly understand what she's doing and why she says what she says. And she says that she talks about the culture so much because besides taking back the political arena, conservatives also need to take back the culture arena. And I've listened to her show for a while, and she approaches pop culture and politics from a very conservative viewpoint. And oh man, I thought that she was, most valuable critics just think that she's a pretty face and that all she does is talk about pop culture, but man, I've heard her ridicule some of the more liberal celebrities, which is basically the entire Hollywood establishment. And she's absolutely fearless. She's brilliant. She's funny. And she always does it with a very sweet attitude, too, which really tends to piss the liberals off. And I absolutely love what she's doing. And Lyda, I know we haven't gotten a chance to talk very much, but I hope we can talk some more. And thank you for joining our team. Andrew Rowland, the cartoonist. I know you're listening to this program. So our nickname here at JFN for Andrew is the Incredible Hulk. And it's because he's into comics. And we actually, folks, we have a joke here at Junior Factor Nation about which we all say that we're members of the Avengers, and Jason claims to be Tony Stark, of course. Caden's Captain America. For some reason, I'm Hawkeye. I forget which one Stephanie and Lyde are, and Andrew's the Hulk. And Andrew is writing a very great comic called Melchizedek. I've had him on my show multiple times to discuss it. he is also joining Lyda and waging the culture war, and I absolutely love what he's doing, and it's excellent. And then finally, we have a new host named Michael Garkar, who's just a fabulous guy to talk to. He is very smart in understanding what we need to do to increase conservative youth activism, and he's just a brilliant, brilliant guy. There's not too much I can say about him yet because I haven't heard his show, but he is joining our ranks on the 29th of July, I believe. So stay tuned for his show. But in the meantime, folks, that's our cast. Those are all my colleagues at JFN, and we are doing amazing things here, and they have really helped me be successful in declaring my war on the left. And I will continue to wage war on the left. I will not forgive them for their. I will not forgive the left for their bully tactics and their scare tactics. Like I said, I will be civil to those liberals only who agree to be civil to me. But other than that, the rest of them are going to feel my wrath. And anyway, folks, so that's our program for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great show, and from all of us here at Junior Factor Nation, God bless. God bless America. God save this great nation, and it's been a great weekend, folks. Jason Avili will be here tomorrow night to kick off another fabulous week of broadcast excellence with Factor Talk Radio, so tune into that. Until next weekend, folks, good night and God bless. Good night, folks.